All right, so this is Marc Warnke at GoatHunts.com. I did that presentation on how to hunt with pack goats, and I keep getting questions on how to tie that knot on my leashes. So here's what we're going for. It ends up being a really nice sleek knot. You have this in so you can actually take the carabiner off, and it becomes a loop, and it's real secure and stays tight. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do, is that right there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, is just a tag in. We're just going to take an end, I'm going to loop it through, and I'm going to give myself enough to work with. If you give yourself a whole bunch, then you end up with a big loose end, and you don't want that. About this, which is probably about 4 inches, 5 maybe. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with this, and this piece of rope I do the length of my arm. So then I start off here, and I pull a little loop right there. And I want this tag end to be about that long, 3-4 inches beyond this tag end. And then the loop's right there, I just lay it on top. Not super important where that loop is, just that it's there. So then I go up to the top of this. Now this is important. This first loop needs to be really nice and tight around both lines. So I actually kind of create some tension, and then I loop it real nice onto the next and create some good tension on it, because it's hard to tighten this part of it once you tighten the knot. This part needs to be tight before you start. So now what I'm doing is I'm just lining it down, as you can see, lining it down, and I'm going to go all the way up to that loop to the base of my carabiner, and each one I get nice and tight. The tighter, the better the knot holds, and it's kind of cumbersome while you're doing this loop, but you'll figure it out. Once you get some, it actually gets easier to hold on to it. So we'll go up, I'm getting close to this loop now, and then I'm going to go through this loop, and then I'm going to pull this tag end, and it's going to suck that string underneath this knot, and it just kind of gets shoved under there, but it doesn't shove it all the way under there. It just kind of crimps it in there, and then you're going to see I'm going to burn it, and that's going to be the final coup de grace. So I really cinched down both, and I left myself plenty of tag-ins, so I have lots to grab onto. And you can see it actually sucks that down in it. And then when I burn it, it creates a thing that a bulb on the end of that it can't pull back through, and now we have that knot. So on this kind of rope, I just cut off about 1 inch and 1 inch, and then that stuff inside of it's a weird material, and it doesn't burn very nicely. So I cut that all off. Nice scissors. And I'm going to take my lighter, burn that down, and the more of this rope I have in there, the more I have to make a big bulb on the end of that. So I'll do my little Zen-like thing that age has taught me, which is not to squish this down till it cools enough to where it's not going to burn the crap out of me. And you're going to see I'm going to kind of smear it across the whole knot, so then it just really becomes solid. And now it's a big solid mass on the end of there that can't get pulled back through, and this knot is secure. This thing ain't going anywhere. Now with these two, I actually burn them together and make a big bulb together. This knot, if this end, you leave it all bulky, when you have other ropes with this, it ends up being this constant catch point, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I like the tag into this to be real sleek. You can see how I burned those two together, and it made it real sleek, and now there's nothing to catch on. It just kind of slides through, because you're going to end up having several of these if you're running pack goats. So that's the knot. Hope it helps. Good stuff.